for everyone I know. It's nice to be in a virtual room with you and everybody else. Just hi. And I'm just going to dive right in. I have 17 titles I was going to talk about. Some are on the fall list, a few are on the spring list. And you know, a lot of them are pretty evident that they're important titles, but they're definitely worth mentioning and reminding people about. I'm going to start with I Am Human. This is the new book in the I Am series from Susan Verity and Peter Reynolds. And the series has been such a great success for us, and I think that this one is very timely also. During the shelter in home pandemic, this series has gained a lot of momentum. We're really proud to publish them. This one is about empathy, compassion, understanding what other people are going through. So it's a great title in the series. I always like to talk about the books from the San Francisco sister team, Hello Lucky. Sloth and Smell the Roses is their new board book. It's coming in January. And it's a book about mindfulness and about slowing down to appreciate the great things in life. I guess I could actually expand some of these. You know, their books are always really energetic and colorful and lots of fun. They're really great people. I've met them both, and all the books they do for us have done extremely well. We're really fortunate to work with them. Their books, My Mom is Amazing, My Dad is Amazing, whatever, I always forget the exact titles. My Dad is Amazing, My Mom is Magical. We've sold about 500,000 copies of those two books altogether. I was just in our fall 2021 launch, and we have a grandfather and grandmother book coming in that series as well. Next is Love Block. This is the latest in the Block series with Alpha Block and Counter Block and Dino Block and Farm Block. And it's coming December 1st. So it's going to have a Christmas selling period. And then it'll just roll into 2021 with Valentine's sales. And you may not have seen very many interiors from this because we didn't have finished samples and we didn't see you in person. But it's really charming. There are the usual flaps that lift. And I think it's going to be one of the strongest books in the series. And I just found out today, next year, we're doing Sesame Street Block, which is going to be fantastic. Next is another book from the Hello Lucky team. And this is Thanks a Ton. And it's a book about gratitude, obviously. All their books are kind of self-evident what they're about. But again, you know, you'll see that it's just colorful and energetic and really fun. And they do some really great virtual events if you're interested. And so beyond stores in the immediate San Francisco area, with the opportunity for virtual author appearances, they would be great to host. They have such a great long list of books at this point. Next is a book that just came out. This is Mumu I Love You. And sorry for that beeping in the background. Mumu I Love You is from Tom Lichtenheld and the sadly demised Amy Krauss Rosenthal. And it's just a really charming book about love with some wonderful illustrations. Tom is doing some great promotion for the book. And it's going to be a great holiday book. And again, we'll sort of transition right into Valentine's Day for 2021. Next is I Am One. And this is, sorry, on the first book, I'm Human. That was the board book edition. And I Am One is the new book in the picture book series, $14.99 hardcover with the dust jacket. And it's a book of action, which seems particularly appropriate here in this election year and in a time when we need to really be doing so much to regain our democracy and to heal our country. And this is a book that can help kids become activists themselves. As with all of the books in this series, the illustrations are very multicultural. They're also sort of gender neutral. The kids can be boys, they can be girls, they can be non-specific gender. So I think that there's something really wonderful about these books for all kids. One of my favorite books on the list is the new book written by Andrea Beatty, of course, who has written the Questionnaire series, Rosie Raybearer and Ada Twist and Iggy Peck and Sophia Valdez, illustrated by a new illustrator for her books. And I think it's extraordinarily beautiful and a wonderful book about the power of one person to have an impact, and also the power of books. To me, it's the perfect independent bookseller book. I love it. And one thing I would say about anything that you see, if you would like a finished copy, please let me know, send me an email, or you can contact our indie ambassador, Wendy Ceballos, and she'll get you finished copies, since we have just about everything in the warehouse now, books that you haven't held in your hands. Another real favorite is Our Little Kitchen. And this was actually just reviewed in the New York Times. And it's such a fantastic book. And it's about community and helping others who need your help. Again, very multiracial, people of all kinds, and a book about just loving other people. It's fantastic. Jillian Tamaki is the author and the illustrator, and I'm sure everybody knows what great work she does. One of the probably not big commercial books on the list, but one of my favorites is Above the Rim, and it's a story about Elgin Baylor, who was a professional basketball player for the Los Angeles Lakers, who in the 50s and the 60s was a leader for African-American rights in the National Basketball Association and beyond. I think the illustrations in this book are, again, phenomenal, and it's a great story, a book that is sort of perfect for the things that are being discussed every day now. If you know anybody in the NBA and can get a copy to somebody influential, I'd encourage you to do that. But I love that book. Bill Nye's Great Big World of Science is a $29.99 hardcover, but big gift book, big oversized, 264 pages from our friend Bill Nye, who is such an important voice for science and why science matters, and why people who don't believe in science are, well, he actually doesn't say that, but obviously people who don't believe in science are ignorant. It's a great gift book for the holidays. Bill's going to do 2 weeks of promotion for us at least, and we have really high hopes that it's going to be a great gift book for the holidays. Next, just a reminder about Raybearer, which came out mid-August. It was a New York Times bestseller immediately. It's a book that we really, really love, and we're so excited that the book has taken off and has been selling so well. There's a sequel coming on the fall 2021 list. Jordan has done a fantastic job promoting the book, and I know there are a lot of enthusiastic supporters of the book here in the Kaliba region. And also just another reminder, coming out October 6th, this is the new book in the Questionnaires chapter book series. It's the 4th one, and it's about voting with Sophia Valdez, who starred in Sophia Valdez Future Prez. The chapter book series started a little bit slowly, but they've really gained traction, and I think people are looking for these as much as they're looking for the picture books. So this should do great. And I also learned today that we have the 5th picture book coming on the fall list, and I know who it's about, but I'm not going to tell you. Willow the Wisp is the first book in a new series from Jonathan Auxier, who is the author of Peter Nimble, Sophie Quire, Sweep, and it's a departure for him. It's a chapter book for younger readers, illustrated, and it's a really wonderful story. It's the first in at least a 3-book series. I read it, I loved it, and Jonathan can basically do no wrong, and I think it's very exciting that he's doing a series for a younger age level now. And of course, October 27th, the new Wimpy Kid from the wonderful Jeff Kinney. And hopefully you all have your orders in. There are 32 copy floor displays. There are 32 copy cartons. They come with extra discount. And we're just hoping for and expecting the usual #1 bestseller upon publication. And we're grateful to Jeff. We're lucky to publish his books. Next is Blades of Freedom, and this is the new book in the Hale's Hazardous Tales series, which is such a favorite of booksellers and teachers and librarians and kids. Graphic history. This is about the Louisiana Purchase and the slave revolt in Haiti. So it's a little bit of a departure for him, but I think all of his fans who love his books are going to be really excited to get this one as well. Donner Dinner Party, this is one of the backlist books in the series, and it's certainly the bestseller for us out here in California. And this is the bigger and badder edition. It's a larger trim size. It has some kind of additional bells and whistles, and just a nice gift edition of this perennial favorite. If you've never read it, it's really fun. We were the distributors of Cameron Books and Cameron and Kids, but we actually now own Cameron Books. We bought them recently, and they're just such a wonderful publisher based up in Petaluma. And my favorite book from them this season is Brown, and it's written by a woman from Oakland, illustrated by a woman from Oakland, and it's about a family of Black people, and each person in the family has a slightly different skin tone, and it's just this beautiful lyrical book about what each person's skin tone reminds the child speaking of. And I just find it so heartwarming and beautifully done, and I hope it's a book people are going to enthusiastically embrace. The Good Song. This is a new book from Alexandria Giardino, who wrote Ode to an Onion, which I think was the NCIBA Kids Book winner a couple of years ago. It was Best Kids Book of the Year. It was nominated at least. And this is a story that is about the creator of the song Somewhere Over the Rainbow, What a Wonderful World. It's really beautifully done, lovely illustrations. It takes place in Hawaii. There aren't that many books that take place in Hawaii, and it's nice to have a new one. And Alexandria lives up in Marin, and she's available for appearances as well. Coming next year, I wanted you to know about Shark Block, the latest in the Block series, coming in May. Again, it's going to be a really fun one. It's about sharks, but it also includes other undersea animals. It's coming in on May 4th and should do extremely well. Another Hello Lucky book. This is another board book from them, a book about self-esteem. This is You Are Fantastic. I've said it before, energetic, colorful, lots of fun, and just really terrific. Their books are great, and that's coming in April. In Your Cozy Bed is a book from the creators of In My Heart, which has sold probably 750,000 copies. And it's the first book that's going to be in a smaller trim size. It's 8x8 rather than 9.5 by 9.5. It is going to be die cut, and it's just about the comforts of home, and again about self-esteem. We don't have any spreads to show yet, but it's going to be a really wonderful new format for this series. And our lead picture book title for spring is Itty Bitty Kitty Corn, and it's created by the dynamic duo of Shannon Hale and Luann Pham, and it's about a kitty who believes she's a unicorn. And I'm kind of a hardened, skeptical, cynical sales rep, and I thought this might be not my favorite book, but I've read it and it's adorable, and it's going to be a huge favorite. We're doing a floor display for it, a nice merchandising kit for it, and to have Shannon and Luann on our list, I think it's just really, really exciting. I think I have about 12 seconds left. Be a Tree, just a really lovely tree book illustrated by Felicita Sala, who's done so many beautiful books. A book that helps kids appreciate nature. I think there have been a lot of kids books about trees, but there's always room for one more really, really beautiful one. Sofia Valdez's Big Project Book for Awesome Activists is the 4th book in the Big Project Book series that we do with the questionnaires. It's got all sorts of great activities to do. If you've not seen these or tried these, again, they are really doing better and better all the time. And Sophia is going to be a great character to do in one. A novel, I haven't read a lot on the spring list yet, but I've read Republic of Birds, and it's just a really wonderful sort of fantasy story set in kind of a Russian republic. And I encourage you to read an e-galley. We're going to do very limited print galleys, but this is a really fun book. So mark that one down as something to read. And another book from Cameron, this is And I Painted, and it is, oh gosh, I'm going to forget her name, the Wyeth sister, and it's the story of her art career. Amy Bates illustrations, there's really hardly anybody who's as wonderful of an illustrator as Amy Bates. It's always a treat to have one of her books. And we've done so well with books about women artists that it's really exciting to have another strong title about a woman artist. And They Call Me River, another book from Cameron Kids. They have a really wonderful spring list, and it's about what rivers mean to us and how we enjoy them. Really beautifully done, wonderful illustrations. And you'll see with the comp titles, my book is actually a comp title, Down by the River. So that's kind of cool. And that is it. That's 17 books, fall and spring. And thank you guys so much. And however we get to interact during the upcoming trade show, I look forward to saying hi to everybody. I hope you're all well. Thanks.